Hey there, I'm Dr. Joe with Mountain Journey. Thanks for tuning in. If you would, please subscribe, please click like if you like it, and comment, and I do my best to return all comments. Isn't it something that we have all these beautiful tools in our workshop, frequently in a garage and other areas that, not temperature controlled, and there's a big risk of rusting of our tools, and that's awful because we've invested time, energy, and effort into these things. And I'd like to share with you a fairly simple way, very effective way, to prevent any rust on your hand tools. So these are some of the ways that have been suggested to prevent rusting. We can use a moisture absorbent silica, which can be reheated in the oven, dried out, and reused. But guess what? We forget about it. It loses its effectiveness. And I think these things are kind of useless. We can use these sorts of corrosion inhibiting foam and other things that emit the volatile compound products that will then seep around your tool cabinet and your tools and can work, but I think these are kind of toxic. There are many brands that work well, but again, typically we have to cut these up into small pieces, apply those with each of our tools. It doesn't have a very wide effect. Some have suggested oiling, spraying oil such as WD-40 or other oils onto the surface. That can be effective. This Carmela oil from Japan is even more effective, but expensive, and although I do like it on my chisels just because I spent a lot of time and effort to make them perfectly sharp, there's a better way to really give more of a global entire tool cabinet effect. Let's take a look. For those of you that are gun owners and have a gun safe, many times there are moisture absorbing compounds. They work okay, but one of the very best things is to create an environment inside of your cabinet or gun safe or other area that's slightly warmer than the outside world. And if that's the case, moisture and humidity will not settle on our cast iron, our tools, and will not cause rust. This is the secret. These rods, golden rod, lockdown rod, whatever they are, they're a heating rod. And they heat the ambient temperature inside of the gun safe or inside the tool cabinet to a point where it's warmer than the outside world, and moisture just does not collect and no rust forms. Let's take a look at the inside of these. I took one apart. Inside of these rods is a heating wire, and it's just a plug-in. It's super simple, and these heating rods are really very effective. They come with some stand-ups so they can be mounted horizontally or vertically. In a perfect world, one of the best places to put it is in the most dependent location horizontally, but you can't always do that. Sometimes they work well horizontally, wherever you have an opportunity to put those. And wherever they go, the entire opening that they're within is warmed higher than the ambient temperature outside, so no moisture, no precipitation occurs on these, on your tools that are in there, and they will not rust. Let's take a look at some applications. These rods come with a wire, but also with a plug. So the wire can be fed out through the smallest of holes and then the plug attached to the wire. We don't need to drill a huge hole. Take a look. Here's a small hole through which this wire is fed, and then the plug is basically connected to the wire. Let's look at its application. Inside this tool cabinet is a rod, and that's heating the entire surface, the entire contents of this entire this cabinet. So this whole area is completely warmed up to an ideal temperature slightly above the ambient temperature, keeping all these tools absolutely rust free. Let's look at another application. So in this tool cabinet as well, we have a vertical application. And again, just through a small opening in the side of the tool cabinet, That wire goes out and plugs in and stays nice and warm. It's very simple right here. There's the plug. And when you feel this, oh boy, it's pretty warm. And it's keeping the ambient temperature in here very nice and warm. And here's a third and final application I've used. Here I've mounted it horizontally. Now, even though there's a shelf dividing these two compartments, that heat goes up here protecting those planes, some Veritas Bridge City things, keeping them rust free. So as I've mentioned, there are many ways to prevent rust on your tools because we spend a lot of time and energy. I mean, they're very personal. They have a lot of value to us. But something like this that warms the inside area of the tool cabinet slightly higher than the ambient temperature surrounding it will always prevent these from rusting, from getting precipitation. The electrical draw on these is extremely low. The cost basically is pennies at the most, and they're very effective. I've never had one fail yet, and it's a super simple design. You just touch it. If it's warm, great. If it's not, consider replacing it, which is easy to do. Anyway, that's an idea to help you minimize the chance of rust forming on your tools. It's an easy fix and something that I found very useful. Please subscribe, please like, please comment. Thank you for watching. Stay safe.